You know, I feel really bad for the young lady who has to play the lead in Afterlife. Because of screaming harpies like this, they get a female lead, the movie makes 60 million in the box office, and they're still pissed off about 2016. Roll that intro. Alright guys, I'm not gonna keep you waiting. Let's get right into this train wreck of an article. Because, the Mary Sue gives us all headaches. I have not read this article. Even when I recorded it for this reaction video, I only listened to a very, very low volume so I could tell it was recording, so I don't know anything of what it says. But I'm sure it's something stupid. Let's go.
Let's unpack the sexist box office narrative around Ghostbusters. Afterlife Answer the Call made more money than Afterlife, but was still deemed a flop. Gee, I wonder.
Okay, so I had to do a quick Google search to find out what Answer the Call was. I did not realize that was the subtitle of the all-woman Ghostbusters. Yes, they're still complaining about the 2016 Ghostbusters, but it's the Mary Sue. Why are we shocked? Now, please, Robot Cortana voice, tell us when this was written, because I really want to know, and I want people to have it cemented in their heads when this ignorant person wrote this article. Thank you.
By Chelsea Steiner, Nov 22nd, 2021, 3:41 p.m. McKenna Grace in Ghostbusters, Afterlife this weekend. Jason Reitman's Ghostbusters, Afterlife hit theaters, claiming the top spot at the box office with a $44 million domestic debut. It's a solid opening weekend given the pandemic of it all, and will likely earn more money this coming holiday weekend. And despite a less than enthusiastic 62% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, fans are loving the follow-up film, giving it a 96% audience.
Maybe, and I'm not a huge Ghostbusters fan, but maybe it's because the new movie gave people what they wanted in a Ghostbusters movie, and the 2016 Ghostbusters was so bad, I even saw feminist YouTubers say that the movie was trash. So you didn't please anybody with the 2016 Ghostbusters, even the people you were pandering to. That's probably why this one is doing better than Answer the Call.
I saw Afterlife Thursday night, and as a lifelong Ghostbusters fan, I had a blast. The movie was funny, heartfelt, and delivered on all the warm fuzzy nostalgia fans want from the series. But I can't help but be frustrated with how different the Afterlife narrative is from that of 2016's woman-led Answer.
So, it gave you everything you wanted in a Ghostbusters movie, and you're still pissed off because the narrative is different with this movie than the 2016 Ghostbusters. Do these women just wake up and think, I'm gonna look for something to be pissed off at today? Because it sure as heck seems like they just wake up and say, you know what? I'm going to go into the day looking for a bad time. If a good time happens, screw it. I'm gonna find a way to have an awful, terrible, no good, very bad time. What a miserable life.
Answer the Call was inundated with bad press and toxic fandom that started during the film's production.
Toxic fandom, aka people who didn't like the product. This is what the media likes to do to fans who wanted to go see the movie, wanted to like the movie, but it turned out to be crap. It's not that the video game makers made a bad product, it's not that the movie makers made a bad product. No, you're the toxic fans for not liking the product and voicing your displeasure for the product. Always blame the fans, guys. That's how you get people to watch your stuff 1000% of the time. Blame the fans.
Once fans learned that the film would center on 4 women Ghostbusters, played by Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, Leslie Jones, and Kate McKinnon, the angry men of the internet mobilized to tank the film, from downvoting the trailers on YouTube to flooding Rotten Tomatoes with bad reviews.
See there? I knew it was going to happen. Toxic men of the internet. The females that didn't like this movie, they don't exist. Feminism will only recognize you if you're a woman who agrees with them. That's it. That's it. Oh, only the men disliked this movie. Only the men didn't like it. It couldn't be that we were getting bombarded with it being a female-led Ghostbusters, and that's all they were banking on, was it being an all-woman Ghostbusters film. Even you said all-female Ghostbusters. A lot of people, even people who might agree with you, are getting kind of tired of this feminism being shoved in our face 24/7. And here's the thing. despite the marketing, which was awful. The film itself, I didn't see it because I didn't want to see that trash, but the film itself, according to everyone I've watched, some who might be a little progressive, have said it was trash, it wasn't funny, it wasn't good. But no, it's just the toxic man babies of the internet. It's always the men of the internet, never women. Women can never dislike anything, and if they do, we just ignore you. Which seems like the exact opposite of feminism, Mary Sue. You big old feminist rag. Why do you keep ignoring the women that dislike these films? I just don't get it.
There were also some virulently racist online attacks directed at Leslie Jones, which the studio did little to address.
Assuming she's mentioning Milo Yiannopoulos here indirectly, well, let me tell you something as a minority myself. You're gonna find racists everywhere you go. There's nothing you can really do about it. People have freedom of speech. And I still don't think Milo was racist because he was married to a black dude. Holy crap. Now, I know people are going to say, well, you can be racist and still be married to a black person. Yeah, but I really don't think that comment in and of itself is racist. Poorly worded, yes. Racist, no. It's like when they canceled Roseanne Barr. Seriously. I think Brodus Clay of the WWE looks like a gorilla, and he's white. Come on, guys. You're just looking for things to bitch about, aren't you?
Thanks to the relentlessly negative press, Answer the Call was deemed dead on arrival, despite earning $46 million its opening.
Chewing on a little secret, lady. Just because you make a lot of money opening weekend doesn't mean you're a good movie. Money doesn't mean good. It just doesn't. It means that a lot of people went to go see the movie, and it really means a lot of feminists went to go see the movie, because people like me weren't going to watch it. And then they came and they didn't like the movie, so they gave it a negative score, which is usually what happens when a movie that makes a lot of money gets review bombed.
The box office narrative painted the film as a flop, and plans for a sequel were quickly.
It was a flop, and it shouldn't have a sequel. Again, just because you make a lot of money doesn't mean you're a good movie. M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong's Avatar made a lot of money opening week, and it sucked really bad. It just did. Money doesn't equal good.
The Hollywood Reporter featured a headline that read, Ghostbusters heading for $70 plus loss, sequel unlikely, despite Sony saying nothing about it.
But we all know with the ecosystem of Hollywood, they're always thinking of sequels. They're always wanting to pump out more. They're always wanting to make many movies. And didn't the director of Ghostbusters 2016 say he wanted to make like a Ghostbusters expanded universe? Isn't that what he said? So that's probably where the Hollywood Reporter was getting their information from. The fact that the director wanted to make an expanded universe on this trash.
In contrast, THR's headline for Afterlife read Ghostbusters, Afterlife opens to heavenly $44M. And while it's a fine opening weekend, during a pandemic no less, it's made barely half of what fellow blockbusters like Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and F9, the Fast Saga have raked in. Answer the Call made $2 million more than Afterlife did on opening weekend, and it received a 74% fresh rating from critics on Rotten.
Let me explain something to you. Usually when a movie in a franchise does really, really well at the box office, but then is deemed a bad movie, people who hear of a new version of that movie probably don't want to go see it because the last film was really bad and they don't want to be let down again, especially a fan base as devoted as the Ghostbusters fan base. They don't want to be disappointed like they were in the 2016 Ghostbusters. That's why this is deemed a better movie. Once the good reviews come out, then you will get people coming into the theater to watch the film. Oh Lord, when will people understand that money doesn't equal quality? When will you get that through your head? Oh wait, it's the Mary Sue. I need to lower my expectations way down for them ever being logical thinking people.
The audience score is a dismal 49%, given the online movement to trash the
collective online movement to trash the films. It was just a crappy film, and the actors talking down to the fans and the directors talking down to the fans probably pushed some people to review bomb it even more. People do not like it when they're talked down to for not liking your crappy product.
Scores. There is something strange in the neighborhood, and surprise, surprise, it's sexism.
Of course it's sexism, because why the heck not?
From the online hate campaign to the male-dominated world of entertainment journalism, it seems that men at large unilaterally decided that Answer the Call would be a flop, and that narrative stuff.
Because all the men of the world decided to get together in one giant Discord chat, labeled the He-Man Woman Haters Club, and say, you know what? We don't like female-led movies. We don't like this movie because it's got all women in it. So we're gonna make sure to downvote it and have a collective effort to make it ruined. We don't like female-led movies, despite the fact that we like Alita Battle Angel, we like Wreck-It Ralph, we like most of the Disney princess movies. If you don't, despite Disney as a whole, you are a heartless person. And we like Lilo and Stitch. No. We hate female-led movies, so we must destroy it.
Fueling this narrative was the respective budgets of the films. Answer the Call cost a hefty $144 million to produce and earned $229 million worldwide. In contrast, and likely due to Answer the Call's profit margin, Afterlife was made for a more modest $75 million budget, which is easier to...
Yeah, that's usually how things go when your first movie flops and you make another one. You do it with a less budget because they want to be prepared for if the movie does poorly, because you don't want to have a big loss like you did with your previous movie.
Paul Feig's film Answer the Call was lambasted by angry misogynists who were furious that the original Ghostbusters, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Ernie Hudson, weren't reprising their...
Well, it also was the fact that the movie had horrible acting, horrible comedic timing, horrible comedy. The actresses couldn't act worth a dang. And I used to like Melissa McCarthy. And yeah, they wanted the original Ghostbusters because it was a reboot of Ghostbusters. They're okay with having new Ghostbusters if they act well, but they at least wanted their heroes to reprise their roles, even for a small part. But even Bill Murray didn't want to be in this trash film. He was kind of held at gunpoint, so what does that tell you? It's not misogynist, it's just poor movie making. Because again, women hated this movie too.
The fourth Ghostbuster, Harold Ramis, sadly passed away in 2014. And the ruined my childhood discourse continued until it was announced that Jason Reitman, son of Ghostbusters director Yvonne Reitman, would be picking up the reins for Afterlife. With Reitman on board, the film was hailed as a return to the roots of the beloved franchise.
Maybe it's because the son of the original creator kind of was pissed off and didn't like the way Paul Feig was taking Ghostbusters and saw that it was trash, and he wanted to bring it back to its roots. Because yes, when you have the son of the original creator wanting to do work on his father's property, then it's gonna go back to the roots. That's why the fans are saying that. It is a return to form. It is a return to the roots. Because the son's coming to fix this mess.
It's impossible to quantify how the differing press and public response to the two films changed their box office outcome, but it undoubtedly affected each film's release. Reitman himself stoked the flames of fandom, promising we are, in every way, trying to go back to the original technique and hand the movie back to the fans.
And that's bad. Why? Like, seriously, you are literally saying out loud that you don't want the fans to have the movie. You don't care about the fans. It's literally what you said in this sentence. Oh, Lord. The media is terrible.
Reitman implied that fans of Answer the Call weren't real Ghostbusters.
Some might have been, but overall, no, they weren't.
Which is an insult to both the fans and Feig's.
Earlier you said the fans didn't like the movie and it was toxic fandom, but now you're saying that the creator's son of Ghostbusters didn't like the film and wants to give it back to the fans, so now you're worried about the fans? Kind of jumping all over the place, aren't you? And also, Paul Feig needed to be insulted because his film was terrible. He needs to be taken down a peg. Or 50.
Both Afterlife and Answer the Call are solid films and welcome entries into the Ghostbusters.
You hear that, people of the interwebs? Mary Sue says 2016 Ghostbusters is a welcome entry into the canon. So shall it be written, so shall it be done. And yeah, I just made a Metallica reference.
And they should be treated as...
How about no? One movie should be counted as canon, the other one, not so much.
Afterlife even has its own iconic female lead in McKenna Grace's phenomenal...
This movie has a female lead, and you're still finding stuff to complain about. You just literally disproved your entire article with this sentence, phenomenal female lead in Afterlife. So if everyone's so sexist and everyone hates women, why is Afterlife revered and 2016 is despised? Use at least the half brain cell that you have a little bit harder, okay?
After leaving the theater, I couldn't help but imagine what a crossover sequel might look.
Of course, because you're a bitter feminist who can't think of anything else except for feminism, female lead. Let's get these female leads together. Let's do this, let's do that. All of your life revolves around your sexuality, and that's the main reason 2016 sucked. Even women are tired of this shit.
With McKinnon's Gillian Holtzman mentoring young Phoebe in science and ghostbusting. It would be nice to see Answer the Call folded into Afterlife's mythology, instead of being treated like the red-headed stepchild of the franchise. There should be room for fans to love both films.
The thing, dude, nobody's telling you not to like the film. If you like 2016's Ghostbusters, okay, that's perfectly fine. What we are saying and what we are getting annoyed with, especially women like Geeky Sparkles, is if we dislike the film, we're bad people. We're horrible people. We're sexist. Because we don't like this all-female-led movie. And we hate women in general. Which is weird because all these same sexists seem to like Afterlife. It boggles the mind. But this is how the Mary Zoo thinks, and it's hilarious, to be honest with you guys. If you like this... Oh, good lord, I wonder how these ladies function on a daily basis. It's baffling, to be honest with you. You're sexist because you don't like this female-led Ghostbusters. You're also horrible people because you like this female-led Ghostbusters more than the other female-led Ghostbusters. It's so ridiculous. Guys, if you like this, thank you so much for watching this. I appreciate it. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you didn't like it, hit the dislike button. Comment down below telling me what you think. Subscribe and hit the bell icon because tell the algorithm that you like what you saw, and maybe toss us a like. Please, you do whatever you want to. This is Gabe Had the Blobfish Productions signing off, saying take care and God bless. Oh, and hit the bell. Hit the bell. From what I've heard, the girl who's the lead in Afterlife has done a really good job. And these people won't give her the praise she deserves. All they want is to complain and bitch and moan, because that's how they make their money, and that's how they get off, and that's how they live their sad, sad lives. If people don't agree with them, they wither away. So I feel bad for this young actress. I might even watch the movie, because I hear she's done a good job.